What's up guys, welcome back to my Never Not Good One channel. My name is Milai and today I am so excited to bring you guys my first impression of this shoe, the Mizuno Wave Duel Neo. Now those of you guys who already know about this shoe are probably like, what? Oh my god, what? But the majority of you guys are probably like, what are you talking about? And I don't blame you, because even though this shoe is Mizuno's secret weapon, plated shoe, it was only sold in Japan, and I have no idea why it's not being sold outside of that country. I even asked Mizuno USA earlier this year, are you guys planning to release this shoe at all? All they told me was different regions have different shoes. I can't tell you anything more than that. So that didn't answer any questions at all. I have no idea if this shoe is ever going to be released in this country at all. Now the reason I have this shoe is of course because I'm Japanese and I have my parents living in Japan. So the moment it got released, I immediately purchased it online and had it sent to my parents' place, and then I had them send it to me here in New York. Now before I get into any specs about this shoe, let me just give you a short history about how this shoe created a huge buzz in Japan early this year. Now I know many runners out there have become familiar with an Ekiden race because the A6 Ekiden World Challenge 2020 was held a couple of weeks ago, and people along with their friends ran the total distance of 42.195 kilometers. Now unlike that challenge, Ekiden races in Japan are not always that distance, and what makes the most popular Hakone Ekiden so famous is the total distance that the runners have to run, which is 218 kilometers. That is 135 miles. That is crazy because each and every runner, which is 10 runners from each team, has to run almost a half marathon distance. Now, along with cheering for your favorite team or just your favorite runner, a lot of people's concern has become, now what shoe is going to beat the Nike Vaporflys? And this year in 2020, January, something amazing happened. Now, as expected, almost 90% of the runners were wearing the Nike Vaporfly Next Percents. However, at the very last 10th course, even though everybody was wearing Vaporflies around him, this one runner who was wearing this white mysterious shoe that seemed to have no brand at all won the course record, beating all the Vaporflyers. So this Hakone Ekiden is broadcasted on national TV. So right after this race, all the runners were like, what is that shoe? It's not a Nike. I have to get my hands on it. And it created a huge buzz on the internet. What is that shoe? Now it was later revealed that that shoe was a Mizuno shoe with this Mizuno original plate all throughout the shoe, along with its brand new midsole foam, the Mizuno Energy. And because it beat the Vaporflies, the anticipation for this shoe skyrocketed, leading to its release in July 1st over the internet. Okay, so let's quickly go through the simple specs about this shoe. The stack height, heel 23 millimeters, toe 14 millimeters, giving it a 9 millimeter drop. That's the same as the A6 Meta Racer. Now the stack height, those numbers are without the insole, so I guess it's a little bit more if you include the insole because it's banned from being used on the tracks by the World Athletics, which requires a shoe to have a stack height lower than 25 millimeters to be used on the tracks. So as for the weight, which is amazing for my size 8, the weight is only 180 grams, 6.4 ounces, I guess, somewhere around there, which is lighter than the lightest plated shoe, the Meta Racer. So this is definitely the lightest amongst all plated shoes. Now one thing that makes this shoe very interesting is this full knit high cut upper, which you've probably never seen on a running shoe before. And you might be wondering, does this upper really hold your foot in its place? And the answer is an extraordinary yes. Now one drawback of this shoe, I mean, I wouldn't even call it a drawback, but is the hassle of putting this shoe on and off your foot. Now, as you can see, there is a pull tab on the tongue-ish thing here, and right behind your heel here. And without this, you definitely cannot wear this shoe. I mean, you have to pull it with your full strength and open this mouth here to stick your foot in here, foot inside. And when you take the shoe off, I'm still not sure how you're supposed to take the shoe off. I just grab it by the heel and pull it off my foot. But I'm still trying to figure out what is the correct, most efficient way of taking this shoe off my foot. But that's about it when it comes to drawbacks of this shoe. Okay, so how is the ride of the shoe? The closest shoe I could think of that has a ride similar to this shoe amongst the shoes that I have is the Adidas Takumi Sen 6. Now I know many people out there have not tried this shoe out. The only person I could think of who has reviewed this shoe is fellow YouTuber Ed Bud. A huge shout out to Ed Bud because I love his videos and I've seen his love for this shoe, especially for speed workouts. And knowing that he loves this shoe, I definitely can assure that he will love this shoe as well because along with the Takumi Sen 6, this shoe has a very traditional racing flat like feeling to it. Now, when I say a more traditional racing flat kind of feel, what I mean is that due to this low stack height in the toe area, you're definitely going to feel the ground hit your foot hard each step of the way. But because of that, you're going to learn anatomically how you're supposed to use your foot, leading to that strong toe off. In other words, that strong kick that you add when you kick yourself off the ground. So if you're already somebody who loves to train occasionally in these low stack height racing flat kind of shoes where you have to really kick the shoe at your toe off, and if you ever wondered what it would be like to have a racing shoe with still this feeling but a little bit more cushion and propulsion, this shoe is definitely your shoe. Now I've taken this shoe out on 2 runs so far, one being my interval session, which was 400 meters times 9, plus just an extra 200 meters, and also one run, which was a little bit less than 11 kilometers, which is 2 loops of Prospect Park at sub 3 marathon race pace, just to see how it feels to run at that pace. Now for my interval workouts, this shoe performed amazingly well. Until that day, I performed best in my Takumi Sen 6 Adidas shoes right there. However, I performed even better in this shoe. I never check my heart rates, but if I check my heart rates, it was lower than when I used the Takumi Sens, and I was faster as well. And after finishing 9 repeats of 400 meters, I felt like I could still even go on even more, which I didn't, but I probably can. Now, as for running on the tracks, this shoe, as you can see on the outsole, has these nubs all throughout the outsole, which kind of grabs the ground. So when you're running on the tracks, it grabs the tracks and providing you amazing traction. No problems with this shoe at all. It performed amazingly well. So as for the second day, the 2 loops of Prospect Park, which is a little bit less than 11 kilometers at sub 3 hour marathon pace, which is 6:48 a mile. In other words, 4:15 kilometer pace. I performed significantly better than when I did with the Meta Racer in the previous week. My time shortened by 34 seconds, and I was left with way more energy at the end of my run. So if I do a simple comparison of this shoe with the Meta Racer, at least amongst that 2 loops of Prospect Park that I've done, this shoe definitely allows you to go faster, and it even feels like it has a little bit more cushion. However, you do have to be used to adding that little kick at the end of your foot strike in order to utilize this shoe pretty good. So as for the Meta Racer, that shoe definitely did not provide me with more speed. However, I think that shoe is more for people who have high cadence yet shorter stride length, who just want to keep those legs moving smoothly, because that shoe does specialize in giving you a smooth ride, which you don't have to put that much special effort to keep going on. So like when it comes to longer distances, I don't know, that shoe might be the shoe of my choice. So another thing you need to know about this shoe is even the makers of this shoe said in an interview that this shoe is made especially for a half marathon distance which is roughly the distance the Hakone Ekiden runners run. So even though I definitely can see people running a full marathon in this shoe, it seems that it was not made for it originally. So what are my thoughts so far on this shoe? I think this shoe is a great shoe to train in, also used for races for 5K, 10K. I'm still not sure about half marathon, but I will definitely race in this shoe for 5K, 10K races. As for training, I would definitely use this shoe for my interval training, all the way up to my lactate threshold or tempo runs, those longer, faster runs. I would say this is a great training shoe for your Vaporflys as well. Because of this low stack height, you could really kick the ground. So it really trains your foot muscles. And it's not that stiff. As you can see, it's pretty flexible. It's even flexible than the Takumi Sen 6s. So it doesn't add that much pressure on your foot yet because of its plate. It's fast and it has good cushioning. There's nothing to complain about as a training shoe. As well as a racing shoe. Okay guys, that's about it for today's first impression video of the Mizuno Wave Duo Neo. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. If you liked the video, please press that like button and don't forget to subscribe. And that's about it. See you next week guys. Have a good run. Bye.